Ever think about just vanishing?
Right.
Like gone, no trace.
Sends chills down your spine, right?
Yeah. And today, we're looking at one of those cases, the disappearance of Tran.
This case is really interesting, especially since, we rely so much on technology to solve cases these days.
Totally. And this was back when people still used cash for, well, everything. It all started in September 2008. Maydong gets on a bus in Pensacola, Florida, heads for the casinos in Buxie, Mississippi.
She did that a lot, right? Those gambling trips.
Oh yeah, for about a year, usually a couple weeks at a time.
Sometimes with friends, sometimes alone. So at first, when her family didn't hear from her, they weren't too worried.
But then, weeks turned into a month. No answer on her phone. Rent, bills piling up.
And that's when Detective Chris DeBack in Buxie got the case. Talk about a tough one. Maydong, she loved using cash, so no bank records, no credit card trail.
Like trying to track someone who walked on water. DeBeck had to go old school, talking to people, looking at clues.
Exactly. He started with her last known spot, the Imperial Palace Casino Hotel. Checked in on September 27th, even booked a room at the Beau Rivage a few days later.
Sounds planned out. Normal.
Right. But get this, she never made it to the Beau Rivage. And after September 30th, her casino card, nothing. No activity.
So she just disappeared from the Imperial Palace. Nobody saw anything.
Well, not quite. There was a call to a friend, we'll call him Michael, planned to meet at the Imperial Palace October 3rd.
So Michael might have been the last to see her.
Maybe, but when Michael gets there, Maydong isn't alone. There's this woman with her, someone he didn't know.
The mystery woman, huh? This is getting good.
They hung out at the Imperial Palace, then went over to the Beau Rivage. It's like super early morning, October 4th.
Then what?
That's where things get fuzzy. Around 4 a.m., Maydong tells Michael she's going to the Grand Casino. Even takes $5 from him for a cab. Never made it to the Grand Casino.
And he just walked out and poof.
DeBed could never even confirm she got in a cab. No records, nothing.
Like something out of a movie. So we have Maydong leaving the Beau Rivage, 4 a.m., supposed to be going to another casino, and then nothing. That's a big gap in the story.
Huge gap. And here's the thing, did she even get in a cab? Who was this mystery woman? And why another casino at 4 a.m.? It really is. So naturally, they looked into her phone records.
You'd think that'd be easy, right? Track her phone.
Right. But no. Those cell phone pings, they were all over the place. Different towers, couldn't pinpoint her. And after 3 a.m. on October 4th, no more answers to calls.
So not like she went off the grid on purpose. We know that.
Exactly. She wasn't hiding, just that was her way. And it made everything harder, But then, just as DeBack was losing hope, a couple of interesting tips came in.
Oh, now we're talking. What kind of tips?
One was from a waitress at the Imperial Palace. She said she saw Maydong there on December 4th.
Wait, so maybe she was alive weeks after that night at the Beau Rivage?
That's what the waitress thought. Said Maydong was with a white guy, someone she didn't recognize. DeBack was all over this, thought it might be the break he needed.
So what happened?
Check the security tapes from that day. Nothing. No Maydong.
Another dead end. Was the waitress wrong? Or something worse?
Tough to say. People's memories, especially in busy places, But before DeBack could dig more into that, he gets another tip. Same month. This time from Maydong's son, Tran.
He must have been desperate for anything. What was it this time?
Someone called him, said they saw Maydong at a casino in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Louisiana. It's hours from Buxie.
Yeah, pretty far. DeBack called the gaming people down there, even sent out an alert to casinos all over, but nothing. Maydong's gone.
So much effort, and still nothing solid. It's got to be frustrating for the investigators and her family.
Oh, the not knowing, all those questions. Awful.
You mentioned those unanswered calls before she vanished. Any idea who she was trying to reach?
He found a few of them. One guy, let's call him David, said he'd met Maydong on a trip before. They were friends. She'd call him when she was in town, see if he wanted to gamble.
That was pretty normal.
Yeah, except she called him 14 times that night. He didn't pick up once.
14 times. That's a lot for just a friend. Did he say why?
Said he was working, couldn't go.
Working all night, can't answer once. Makes you think.
It does. And then there's that woman who was with her and Michael. Ever figure out who she was?
The mystery woman.
Seems important, right?
She's gone too. Nobody knew her at the casinos. DeBeck couldn't find anything on her. And then there was this rumor going around. People were saying this mystery woman might have been involved in, well, prostitution.
Hold on. Are we saying Maydong might have gotten mixed up in something dangerous?
DeBeck wasn't so sure about that at first, but he couldn't ignore it either. Yeah, maybe she met the wrong people, something bad happened.
Scary thought. But without proof, it's just a guess, right?
Trust a guess. And that's the thing, DeBeck never found that woman, the cab driver, the guy from December. So many loose ends.
A puzzle with missing pieces. Any idea what DeBack thinks happened? He always believes something bad happened, foul play. But without hard evidence, no suspect, no motive, the case is still open. Tough for him, even tougher for her family. No answers.
It's just awful to think they're still waiting, not knowing. It really shows how these cases, they don't just affect the missing person, but everyone around them.
It's true, not knowing, wondering, always looking over your shoulder. And in Maid Dawn's case, it just makes it worse.
You know, she was just living her life, retired, enjoyed her partner, liked to gamble, nothing crazy or dangerous, and then gone.
It's what's scary about this case. Could happen to anyone. Makes you think, be more careful, appreciate what you have, right?
Absolutely. It makes you realize how fragile things are.
Yeah.
But even after all this time, someone out there might know something.
You never know. Something small, they might not have thought about it back then, but now it could be important.
That's right. So to everyone listening, if you know anything about Maydong Tran, or if you were in Buxie, Mississippi, around September 27 to October 4th, 2008, anything at all, please tell someone. You can call Mississippi Coast Crime Stoppers. The number is 1-877-787-5898, or go online to p3tips.com.
Every little bit helps. You might have the piece that solves this whole thing, finally gives Maydon's family peace.
Maydong's case, it shows that even now, some mysteries just stay unsolved. But we keep talking about it, asking questions, hoping that someday we'll know what happened.
Until then, we remember her, and we think about her family.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Maydong Tran's disappearance. Hopefully by talking about it, we can help find some answers and bring some comfort to those who knew her.